a nigga, and it's like that. Welcome back to another episode of Survival Time. We finna get into this situation with the trans ass niggas, the bitch niggas, the women bitch niggas, the women niggas, the girly dudes, the dude girlies, whatever you want to call them, bro, sis bro, whatever you want to call these niggas. They trying to get at the WNBA. Personally, I keep saying this, as men, it's no way in hell we supposed to be competing with women. No way in hell. As much as women like to say equal, and the dumbass coaches keep saying yeah, let's do it. No, bitch. LeBron getting in the WNBA is gonna be a whole nother story than LeBron getting in the NBA. LeBron trying to dunk on Angel Reese, that ain't gonna be shit to him. Getting a rebound from her ain't gonna be shit for Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd will fuck around and dunk on Angel Reese. Motherfucking Steph Curry will probably dunk on that bitch. Like, you can't be serious. And I can't believe that these nigga bitches is steady trying to like push this script and make it seem like it's about them.
If you're all going to stand here with me today, will you at least answer some questions for me? My first question is, do you believe
trans lives matter? Trans lives matter! Trans lives matter!
Boy, glad we're not there. All right, trans activists and Sophie Cunningham supporters squared off ahead of tonight's Indiana Fever and New York Liberty game, and Outkick was there to cover all that action. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final hour of the Big Weekend Show. So while the trans activists were causing problems, the Sophie supporters were, a lot more civil.
She did this with tremendous risk to her personal safety, her career, and I just am very grateful for her speaking up.
For Sophie speaking up and not backing down and continuing to say what she said and speaking up for all of us female athletes is so inspiring, and I know that's going to push every female athlete to speak out and continue to push for this.
Yeah, much different interview there, but this comes as WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert is accusing others of using the debate to, quote, sow divisiveness, while Cunningham calls for bold new leadership in the league. Yeah, I would say so. Alicia, the WNBA, with all of this, has moved so far away from the sport, the athleticism, the players, and has become, in a lot of ways, a joke because the leadership can't figure out why protecting the W in the WNBA might be an important concept.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where it's almost like, oh, yeah, and they also play basketball because it's all messed up with all of the politics. And I was listening to that supporter out there when she said, that she's so grateful to Sophie Cunningham for risking her personal safety for what she said. And what she said was men shouldn't compete in girls' sports. And she risked her safety to say that. Think about that. And that's true because she's received threats. And we see these people out here.
That's what's scary because don't nobody really speak on it, but a lot of women have received threats when it came to situations like this from these niggas. And it's like, nigga, you got a dick, bro. You got a dick, and you got to accept that. And then that's another issue with the men, women, or whatever you want to call these nigga bitches. You got to understand, we got to start standing behind women as men too, because they need that protection, they need that backup, they need that backbone when it comes to something like this. And I agree with Sophie when it comes to the situation as far as the commissioner. Like, bitch, you should be doing your motherfucking job. Like, bitch, the NBA wouldn't allow certain shit. You should not allow it either, especially on your jurisdiction and your time, because you already know the unfairness of a male playing a woman, or the severities of them even like getting into like a situation where it's a foul, a hard ass foul, let's say. What if they want to fight? I can't fight this nigga. I'm a bitch. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I got a vagina, he got a dick, he just got a wig on. That's the only difference between the two. And then the fact that you trying to do that, if that's the case, then let the nigga, the bitch niggas get in. The bitches that's want to be niggas that got the vagina, but they walking around with the plastic dick or whatever they did to get a dick that ain't God made. Y'all need to let them niggas play then, if that's the case in the NBA. But I'm not with that shit, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's a reason why we got separation. It's a reason why you got a man bathroom. It's a reason why you got a woman's bathroom. It's a reason why we got laws and jurisdictions. This is why I need people to stop saying they don't give a fuck and it doesn't matter what these people do. These people are doing a lot of shit that is actually disrupting a lot of the ecosystem when it comes to the living of the two sexual worlds. You have the male world, you have the female world. It should always be like that. It shouldn't be no damn mixture. You want to do that late night freaky shit, nigga? Say that shit for the late night freaky shit, nigga. Don't bring that shit over here, okay, into the real world. And that's why people need to understand why this is a fucking mental illness. The fact that they even trying to push and manhandle their way into some shit, just it shows you. The fact that they even threatening a woman about some shit like this when they supposed to quote unquote be women. We not worried about protecting women no more. That's the craziest part to me, and that's really what's bothering me most. The women and the children are no longer protected by the men of the world, I'm noticing.
Protesting and doing all this, we know that this is an 80-20 issue. Democrats in 2024 learned the hard way that this is an 80-20 issue. Or is it just that 20% are all out there at these events screaming and yelling? It's just, honestly, just as someone who's covered this stuff and covered campaigns, I'm very surprised that this still has such a loud voice out there when the vast majority of Americans, not Republicans, Americans, don't think this is a good idea.
Joey, what do you think it is with the leadership? Why can they not figure out what a distraction this is from what they've been building with Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham really taking the lead?
I think in the beginning, the Caitlin Clark stuff was because it brought more the drama, like that WWE Attitude Era, brought more eyes to the game. Just like the talent of Caitlin Clark, the drama around her also brought the attention. And so I think they let that simmer for too long, and then it got too personal, and then people made it about race and all these other things. I'll go back to, as Engelbert said, that people are using this to sow division. Sophie Cunningham answered a question and left it alone. Coaches wore stupid T-shirts. Her own coach couldn't have her back. Like, it cascaded within her ranks, not by Sophie Cunningham, not by outside groups. It cascaded within the WNBA because I guess a bunch of them have thought about being trans and wanted to make sure that their life mattered. I don't know why they're so passionate about it, but that's the best I can deduce. So, there's weak leadership, and then there are people who are in leadership positions that aren't leaders, and that's what this seems like.
Yeah. Well, the Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, is not looking out for her players. It's that simple. If her players are getting hurt, you have to stand up and figure out why the players in the league that she's supposed to be the commissioner of are getting hurt. Instead, she comes out caring more about her image, her woke image, than she does about the actual players who are working for her. By the way, that's not just me saying it. That's what Sophie is actually saying. Sophie is saying she seems to care more about her own image than she does about the safety of her players. She also says that position, the commissioner's position, could be open by the end of this season. And I think she's right. I think if she goes on caring more about her own image than the safety of her players, she's not going to be the commissioner much longer.
Yeah, nor should she be. It's the safety of your players, but it's also just, to me, the integrity of the league itself. Alicia, I just keep going back to how ridiculous it is that the concept that the women's national basketball, that they don't know what a woman is. First of all, they have to meet and convene on that, number one. But they can't figure out that the very existence of their league is greatly threatened by the concept of letting men play in it.
Yeah, and then we also had two former professional basketball players, men, who said, okay, then fine. I'm going to play, that I'm going to put myself out there. And that it took them to make like an even bigger point of how absolutely ridiculous this is. But yes, the W and the WNBA. What about these young basketball players, these girls who are out there and they were watching what was happening here and thinking, I'm going to do that one day. I'm going to go out there. And now they're watching this.
This issue's settled. The president is the president of the United States of America right now, largely because of this issue. You can continue to litigate it in the public sphere like this as a business and drive yourself into bankruptcy if you want to. Americans have said what they think about it pretty loudly and pretty monolithically. It's a very small percentage that see it otherwise. That just happens to be that same small percentage gets good funding to make signs and show up and yell.
What's odd to me as well is you see these supporters of Sophie Cunningham showing up. They are polite. They are civil. They are respectful.
Yes.
They are not hateful. They answer the questions, not about being hateful towards anybody, but about the integrity of the game, and they appreciate Sophie for standing up for them. And then on the other side, you have these screaming banshees, many of them who are not young women, by the way. In fact, I don't think I saw any young women out there protesting for trans lives or all these things that they're doing, making absolute fools of themselves, hissing and cawing and all these things at our poor Outkick reporter that's out there dealing with it. I mean, what a contrast.
By the way, that contrast is not just happening outside, it's happening inside.
Exactly.
Remember the people that were wearing the shirts, the mother and the daughter, they were forced to cover it up, and the things that are said to these people. I mean, it's very simple. As you say, you just look at the quality of the people on either side, and it's clear in my eyes who the winner of that game is.
There are a lot of young Americans that are emulating Charlie Kirk when it comes to public discourse and how to approach people and be respectful and have grace in your heart, but stand strong in your convictions. And the others, like Tommy said, are banshees, and I think that's just hilarious.
They are banshees, and I would just say, too, for these young women that are out there being so respectful, they're not threatening trans lives. They simply want a sport in which they can play as women.
I'm gonna stop right there. I like how they put that. I like how they threw Charlie in there. Let me tell you motherfuckers something. We as American citizens have to come together and start understanding the rights and wrongs. We got to get off of that bullshit as far as like, oh, we don't care what other people do because it don't affect us personally. Because that's when things will eventually affect us personally. The thing that kill me most with motherfuckers is it's like this. I'll shorten it like this. With gang violence, we'll say, oh, we don't care about that. We don't care about this. We don't care about that. Then you start turning around and you look back and you see, oh, your cousin then got shot over gang-related issues, or your brother eventually gets shot, or your child eventually get killed, or somebody goes to jail within your family, in your circle, and it becomes a personal situation once it hits home. But once it hits home, it's too late, because now you don't have the backup, when you could have had the backup to prevent all of this shit from even happening or even taking place. As far as the WNBA go, if I was the WNBA female player, what I would do is, as a woman who's really fighting for them rights, for other women, because at the end of the day, the WNBA was started specifically because they had no league, specifically because they still wanted to ball out after college, you know, and they was not being taken serious. Now they're being taken serious. Now they're being looked at in a light as to where they can make profit and money and gain from this shit. I would take this shit to the NBA, because the NBA is funding everything they're doing. So if we got a problem, I will gather all of my players up that want to roll with me on this, and we take them out and we do what we got to do, and we start boycotting against the commissioner. Because if she's not going to do anything about it, or they're not going to make certain rules to protect or protest these situations, then goddammit, we need to do something to shut this shit down altogether, because I'm not finna allow myself to be taken advantage of after all of the women before me came together and said this was something we were going to establish. This was something that was going to make us legends in our own right, our own GOATs, our own Michael Jordans, our own Kobe's, and things like that of that nature. But when you start belittling the woman, which is like what's killing me when it comes to women, and I need y'all to pay more attention to the fact that these sissies are belittling you, these fags are belittling you, these men, women with wigs, and just same way they belittle us as men when they wear our clothes and think that they're us because they're having sex with the woman. First of all, you don't carry the burden of a man. You wouldn't understand what it is to be a man in this world, just like I wouldn't understand what it is to be a woman in this world. I don't carry that burden. I don't carry those issues. I don't carry those responsibilities, and vice versa. It's a lot on both ends. Okay, we all got pressures on both ends. So when you start trying to mix into the worlds and things like that, and you start purposely trying to put yourself into these people's shoes and put yourself into these people's professions, put yourself in their bathrooms. Like, I could never allow my niece to go to the bathroom in public when it's allowed for niggas to go in there, as long as they got a wig and a dress on. Fuck out of here. I choke that nigga out till he fucking purple in the face, then I will kill that nigga, and I will be in jail the next day, because at the end of the day, I'm not finna put my child, my niece, my mom's, my sister, whoever at risk of some shit like that happening to them, out of all of the cases where shit has happened. You just had another case where Sydney Starr just raped some little boy. It's going to happen at some point. We're just allowing it to happen freely at that point. Or the fact that we're allowing for the women to be invaded by the males, which they already complain about now, but it's like they don't complain to the gay male. They complain to the heterosexual male about how men are judging and saying this, that, and the third, but they never say anything to these other motherfuckers. So I hope this is a wake-up call to all women, because it's not about the straight male. It's the homosexual male that you really have to worry about, because we don't want your spot. We want you. You know, they want your spot. They want your life. They want the things that you carry. They want your tools. They want your this, your that, your mindset, your emotions. They want these things, your freedoms, your carefree aspects of living in life. You have to understand that, because women don't pay the bills when they get married or when they with somebody, or they get help and assistance from their dude or whatever, however it go. You know what I'm saying? Women do have an easier time in living as far as the niggas. And that's why I feel like a lot of niggas be going gay or be going trans, because they feel like it's an easier thing to do, and they feel like it's an easier mindset to carry. And a lot of these niggas have been raised by their moms, so they don't know no other way to act other than based on emotion and whims. So the mind is a crazy thing when you can trick it to think one way when you really another. And this is why I say this is a fucking mental illness, and we need to go back to electrocuting these bitch ass niggas by the motherfucking temple. Y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think, man. I'm real deal on the side of real women. I really feel like we should start making more laws against this, and actually start separating and segregating situations like this, so we don't have any more issues. We shouldn't even come to a point where we have to explain what a woman is. But that's just my personal opinion. Y'all let me know what the fuck y'all think, or however y'all feel towards the subject when we get to it. But peace on out.
These snakes is lurking, observing, trying to close up curtains. These hoes be pumping. OG told me, boy, watch your back. They come